everything is proportionate. Never compare yourself to any other person, because every single person is completely different. So the main thing is how to practically apply like kind of survival and like life skills, because everything that kind of keeps you going and keeps you alive, keeps you motivated in the most harshest environments on the planet, can be directly used by companies. One big example is one of the main kind of topics of my talks is, compartmentalization. That's a massive one. Any business, any person, you wake up in the morning, don't think about anything apart from just, right, I'm getting my coffee. And people, when you think of the businesses, people, doesn't matter if it's a CEO or whether it's an employee, you think of the big picture. You think of Monday morning, you think, I've got a whole week at work. It becomes massively overwhelming. Same as me, like literally halfway across the channel, I still know I had 13,000K in front of me and I was going to Everest by my own power. The only way you get through things, exactly the same as businesses, is to think 1 minute at a time. When I was cycling across the world, I never thought past 20 minutes. Every 20 minutes, I'd stop, shake my legs off, stretch, get back on. So I never had to think more than 20 minutes. So it's just talking about compartmentalization, using techniques and using extreme examples I've used, but it's the exact same for people there. It's just getting people to relate to me and to them, and it's the exact same. If I thought about Everest when I was still in England, knowing I still had 19 countries ahead of me, it would just become so overwhelming. And it's, using that. So compartmentalization, just in general, like the main focus of the talk in general, and which is directly linked to that, is how to channel adversity into power and not a weakness. That's the main thing. Everyone will get distractions at work. You lose a loved one, you have a conscious choice, which is a small change in mindset, to change that grief. Instead of negativity, it can become pure power. You can just use it to light a fire inside you that will make you like unstoppable. And that's the same in the workplace, and it's the same on any mountain, on any ocean, anything. If you're aspiring to get somewhere, you can either mope around in the office, or you can think, they'd want me to do well. They want me to be proud, so I'm going to work hard. So it's kind of getting that across, channeling adversity into power, compartmentalization, cheerfulness in the face of adversity. That's the main one. It's being able to, whenever things get massively tough, again, whether you're in the office or whether you're on a mountain, it's being able to just take your brain away, think, this doesn't last forever. So the other thing is, again, using examples about how pain is temporary. Pain is temporary is another topic that I talk about a lot. No matter how bad something is, no matter how long a week is, it's absolutely fine, because as long as you always tell yourself it's going to end. Doesn't matter if it's the end of the day, the end of the week, the end of the year. The only time you've got to really, the only excuse you have to be like down in the dumps is if it was never going to end. But it doesn't matter. You just tell yourself it's a day, it's a week, it's a month. I will be at home having a cup of tea at some point. By having relentless positivity, that's probably the main one I say. That's another topic. It's relentless positivity, by not allowing negativity into your thought process. For example, we talk about the 40% rule, and it applies as much physically, mentally, and emotionally in like a workplace as it does physically. So when you think you're at your absolute max capacity, whether that be like workload or physically, mentally, they can adopt that mindset that, right, I'm actually got a lot more to give. It's the ability to take a breath, look around you, and realize, no matter how stressed I'm not dead. I'm going to be okay. It's okay to be uncomfortable. That's a mindset which CEOs, everyone can apply, is when things get hard, just getting comfortable being uncomfortable, because if you adopt that mindset, then when things do get bad, you're used to being uncomfortable. Same stuff directly brought over from like military training and Royal Marines training is teaching people that's natural, that's good. Don't be afraid of being uncomfortable. The human body, the human mind is not meant to be sat at home, cozy, no stress. The main things they can use and how they can deal with it is to just literally take a minute, step away, close your eyes, take a deep breath. A person's strategic ability to manage pain. Easy as that. A person's mental strategic way of dealing with pain. And it's completely the whole, what I would like to drum into people and companies, is it's completely different for every person. So all it is taking a breath. The way I get through it and the way it directly can apply is you just close your eyes. Like when things got tough, 10 hours into the channel, exactly the same as in the meeting or something. You just remember why you're there. Or you just remember who you're doing it for. You remember why you're there. You remember all you do is, and there's so many channels, you flick through the channels, yeah? So everyone's got their channels, channels of resilience. And for me, it's my dad dying when I was a kid. But most people will be able to do, in the workplace, will be able to associate with that, because many people have lost a mum, brother, granddad, whatever. And it's, talking about how they can use that, like we spoke about, to turn that into a positive and power rather than negative. So you've got, so the reason you're there, family, friends, they haven't got to be dead either, You've got kids. Main one for most people is making them proud, giving them a good life, just remember why you're there, flick through these channels. After that, it might be, for me, it was like the charity I'm raising money for. It was knowing knowing like friends and that were proud, knowing that I'm inspiring people. So there's like 4 or 5 channels that I have. So, and when you wear out one, you just literally flick to the next channel, and then when you've gone through them all, you just go back to the start. And then by the time you've done that, it's over. One is, again, you don't have to be a superhuman mentally or physically to achieve your wildest dreams. It's 99% belief and mindset. I want people to take away that everything is proportionate. Never compare yourself to any other person, because every single person is completely different. Every single person has their own limitations, and it's just about growing. The main thing is to walk away from it just believing in themselves a bit more, just by seeing an example, basically. Seeing an example of it happening, you know what I mean? I hope people see a normal person and think, Jesus, if he can do that, I can cycle to work, for example. Something as simple as that, and I've done my job. So that's what I hope people take from it. Believe in themselves, that they can channel negativity into positivity by simply a small change in mindset, by literally changing their outlook, by a small change in perception.